I am Dr. Velamani PS, Professor, Department of Computer Science, University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya. In this video, we are going to see some of the topics in the subject computer networks. Under networking, few topics which we are going to cover today: the basic definitions of computer networks, what are all the hardware devices which we are going to use in the networking, and different type of network software, client server model, then peer-to-peer networking, and different type of networks, different type of servers. So around 7 topics which we can cover in this video. Computer networks, the basic ideas and concepts which we can see by using a simple diagram which I can show it in this video. So in this video, in this slide specifically, the basic computer networks. Here we can see N1, N2, N3 are the nodes, computer nodes. DTE, that is said to be data terminal equipment. So these are all the different type of nodes, and these nodes are connected to switch. Switch is a device, network hardware device. We'll see it in our further slides. Then these all three nodes are connected to the server via switch, and one printer is also connected with the server, which is going to be shared by all the nodes N1, N2 and N3. From internet, how we are accessing the services to our nodes. That is a point which we can see here. From the internet via router, that is DCE, data communication equipment. So through data communication equipment from the internet, we can get the networks information to our nodes N1, N2 and N3. So the idea of the computer networks is very simple, that to interconnect various devices and share the information among all the devices. These devices are nothing but computers, printers, maybe different servers will be connected. These devices will be connected by using common devices, switches, hubs, that we will see to it one by one. So as the basic definition which we can see here, the computer networks, it is a interconnected computing devices that can share resources with each other. So we need to share the resources with each other. So that is the main point which we are focusing. These network devices use a system of rules called communication protocol. The protocols, communication protocols, nothing but rules, a set of rules which is used to connect the various devices in the network. The communication can be done either by wired or by wireless technologies to transmit the information. So we are using wired devices, that may be the computer cables which can be connected to various computer systems, and wireless technologies we are using mobile phones, and we are using Wi-Fi laptops, and by using the wireless technologies we are connecting through the internet. So need of the computer networks to share computer files among various devices. So that is the major thing to make effective utilization of the software. So once we are having a specific application software in the server, a particular software can be shared by different nodes, and we will effectively utilize that software to reduce the cost of the data transfer. That is also the another aspect which we are considering to improve communication speed and accuracy. For this basic needs, we are using the concept of computer networks. Computer hardware. The computer hardware is nothing but the devices which is going to use to connect various devices. Let us see how this can be done. As I already told that the node N1, N2, N3 and all connected by using switch. So that is a kind of computer hardware. We'll see one by one. So network hardware is the individual component of the network system that are responsible for transmitting data and facilitating the operation of a computer network. A network contains many hardware components like network interface card, hub, switch, router, many things it will consist of. So by using these components only, the network connection can be done very effectively. So there are certain lists which we can see here. Number one is network interface card. This network interface card is used to communicate one device to multiple devices. Generally, this will be embedded in the motherboard of our computer, the desktop computer or the laptop computer. The second one is hub. The hub is a central hardware device that splits the network connection into multiple devices. So when the computer required for information from another computer, it sends the request to hub, and hub will distribute all to its connected system. So that is a point which we can say the hub is a central device. It can broadcast the information not only a specific device to all its connected devices. So this is the basic central hardware connector. This was the initial device. So after that only switch came to the market. Now switch. So switch is a networking device again that connect all the devices over the network to transfer the data to another device. The switch is better than hub as it does not broadcast the message over the network. So hub had an disadvantage to broadcast the information to all its connected devices. But switch it sends message to the device for which belongs to directly from source to destination. Fourth, cables and connectors. There are different types of cables which can be used and communicate the devices in a network system. The types twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, fiber optic cables. So specifically, we will study in depth manner each and every cable and all in our further slides. So just we can have a look of speed of data transmission as it is a concern about the speed concept. The twisted pair cable, the speed of data transmission is 1 gigabytes per second. So the capital B that indicates bytes. Coaxial cable, the speed of data transmission is 10 megabits per second. So the small b that indicates bits. Fiber optic cables, high speed data transmission rate by using light beams. So this is something extraordinary which is compared to other cables 1 GB per second faster. So we can see which applications we will use all these things and all in our further videos. Routers. Again, it is a hardware device which is used to enable internet communication to the required destination. So from the internet, we are going to access the connection to our system. It may be in our office, it may be at our home. By using this router only, this connection can be done. A network router is a hardware device that is connected to multiple channels for different networks through an interface that is situated on each network. It mainly connects local area network to internet by using specific protocol or set of rules to determine which information packet data unit are to be routed to certain interfaces within the network. So normally these routers, even in our houses, we may have the router, for example, geo router, which we are having in our offices or in maybe in our houses. So this is having the capacity. For example, let's take geo router. It's having the capacity to give connection around 22 devices, 22 digital devices. It may be our mobile phones or it may be our laptop or any other digital gadgets. 22 devices can access the internet connection in our geo router. That is a that is an example. So the next thing is modem. That is a very important area. The modem, the modem, which indicates the modulation and demodulation of the signal. So it is a hardware device which enables the device to send the data packets. The data packets are the signals or the information which can be transmitted from one device to another device. A modem is a communication device used to send and receive data between different transmission system. The sender in between and sender and receiver, this modem will play a major role. The sender uses modulation to transmit digital signals. That is from the sender side. From the receiver side, the receiver uses demodulate to transmit the digital signals. So the digital signals zeros and ones. The receiver uses demodulation to return the signal to digital form. That is the thing. So the modem, the hardware device, which is used to modulate and demodulate the signals in between two devices. Now bridges. This is another hardware device which is going to be handle different LANs. A network device handles device traffic on a LAN by separating the LAN into several different number of segments or sections. And it is also responsible for filtering data by determining the data destination. Network bridges operates within the layers of the network and controls the data that across the boundaries from one LAN to other. Yes. So it connects similar type of networks with different calling. So two types of LANs are there, but the types of LAN should be same. So similar types of LAN will be connected by using this bridge. If you are looking the layer architecture of our connectivity, that is OSI model, Open System Interconnection model. So in this Open System Interconnection model, this specific different call will be applicable. It will be operates the physical and data link layer level. So the physical layer, which is exactly the cable, data cables, wired devices. In that particular section, it will be operate, and the data link layer, that is the another layer in the OSI model. OSI model, there are 7 layers. Simply, we can recall this by using APST and DP. So that is the simple code, we can keep it in our mind. APST and DP. That is application layer, presentation layer, network layer, data link layer. So like this manner that will continue. So data link layer at this specific point and physical layer at this specific point, this particular bridge will be operated. So it sends data frames only to the concerned destination from the source destination. So that is a specific thing which we can see, data frames. And it maintains a table which consists of MAC and ports of the connected network. So medium access control and ports, that also will be considered, which port will be considered for the connectivity, that also will be maintained. So about the OSI model, I was pointed out APST and DP. So we will study specifically the OSI layers and its functionalities. So once again, I will tell you that code is APST and DP. Application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, physical layer. So these are all the layers which can be considered here. Then the certain another hardwares are gateways. It is a hardware device that is used to connect two different types of networks. So as we know that very well, our bridges will connect the similar type of networks, but gateways will connect two different types of networks. It allows to send and receive data through the internet even if it is a LAN that is possible. So it operates seven layers of OSI model. All seven layers it will be operated. Then the next computer hardware device is repeater. So on day-to-day life, we are seeing this repeater. Repeater is a network device which we can boost up the weak signal when the signal travels in the network for a long distance. So in order to regenerate the weak signal, the repeater device is used. For example, 1000 meters or 2000 meters, if we are going to send the signals via cable TV, this repeater is a low cost device and it will boost the signal, because after a certain period, a certain distance, the signal will become weak. So to regenerate the signal, the small repeater device will be connected and the signal will be boosted. The destination, it will keep on getting the proper signal. So in normally cable TV connection, we will use this. Now network software. So some of the software in various layer level, how this can be done. So in this diagram, we are representing this, the component of the network software. So higher level, lower level, in between that middle level. So let us start from the lower level, that is our infrastructure layer. In the lower level, all network devices will come. Then the middle level, which will be controlled, or the services, the various services which is going to be provided to the network devices, that is handled by middle level layer. Then the higher level, that is our application layer. So the business applications, whatever may be the business applications which may be available in the higher level, that can be connected to the middle level by using application program interface, and the services from the middle level will be provided to the lower level network devices. So this is the overview of the network software. We'll see one by one how this can be. So the network software is a software which helps network administrator to deploy, manage and monitor the network. So how to monitor the network? So that software will be used. So the networks are made up of specialized hardware such as routers, switches, that makes the networking software in the whole solution. Software defined networking, that is SDN, separates that software from the network to quickly meet changing networks demand. See, the separation of function from hardware is done by the firewall. The firewall concepts again that is separate will study in that manner. So the network filtering that can be done in that firewall. So the key benefit of network software is to enable and manage the network resources. Now the functions of network software. So it is used to manage certain things. Number one is file management. So let's administrator, the network administrators decide the location of the data storage and control user access the data. Then user management. Then again the administrator, network admin to add or remove user in the network. So this is also the concept which we can see in the user management. The accessibility enables user to enjoy uninterrupted access to network resources. So that is the availability of the network services and resources. So network security system, it assists administrators in looking after security and preventing data from unauthorized access or viruses. So these are all certain functions. Now the key components of network software. So in our previous diagram, we have seen that layered architecture. So some simple definition we can see to it. Application layer. So the application and services that will run on the network. It is a program that conveys the network information, status of the network and the network requirements for production, resource availability and applications. So the business application that will be available in the application layer. So this business application will be connected to the middle level layer by using application programming interfaces APIs. Then the control layer. So it lies at the center of the architecture and is one of the most important component of the three layers. So it is the heart of this communication. So which may called as the brain of the whole system. See, even brain of the entire system is a control layer that is our middle level. So it's the heart of the functionality. It will receive requirement from the application and translating the same to the network components. The control of the infrastructure layer and network devices that is also done via the controller or the control layer. So the last one is infrastructure layer. It consists of actual network devices, both physical and virtual, that resides in the layer. The primary responsibility is very simple, that moving data packets. So that means forwarding data packets after receiving instruction from the control layer. So the application program interface ties all three components together. Communication between these three layers is facilitated from application layer to infrastructure layer, will be taken care by the APIs in bidirectional form. So both the direction it can be transmitted. So these are all the key components of network software. Now client server model. So it's a very major architecture model in between client and server. The thin client machine, how this can be connected with the server. This is again a communication model. We'll see to it. So the computer which is seeking any resource from another computer is client computer. Simply client computer is if it is looking for any resource from another one, then that is simply a thin client we can say. A client has a computer in your network where a network user is performing some network activity. For example, downloading a file from a file server, browsing intranet or internet, etc. The network user normally uses a client computer to perform his day-to-day work. So that is the simple thing which we can understand. The client server model. If a computer has a resource which is served to another computer, it is a server computer. So the client establishes a connection to a server and access the services installed on the server. So a server is not meant for a network user to browse in internet or to do separate spreadsheet data entry work. A server computer is installed with appropriate operating system and related software to serve the network clients with one or more services. So the server consists of data or information or maybe different type of files which may be available to the clients, and there is a need of separate server administrator to control the server and which they can provide the services to clients. And again, in the client server network, high-end servers installed with the network operating system, that is called your server operating system, and the related software serve the clients continuously on the network. So server availability, as we know that 24 hours per day, without any break, we need to serve to our connected clients. So an unexpected shutdown of a server computer can cause damage to a business. It is a very critical situation to our business. For example, for the server, Windows Server and Unix servers are certain examples. So relationship client server network. So let us see what exactly the relation on this client server network. So the server is simply a computer that provides resources to other companies when they request it. So when the company is in the business, when they require it, at the time it will simply provide the service. So the client is a computer running a program that requests the service from a server. So the LAN or that is a local area network is based on client server network relationship. So even if you are having our thin client server lab, suppose if you consider thin client server lab, so our lab may generally without any CPU, simply some systems may be there. So those system will be connected to the centralized server with some software, some files, and various applications. So those applications, those files, those softwares will be commonly connected to the client server machines, which is thin client, and time to time it can access it, and we can do the processing or calculation or computations, and we will save it in the server. So that is the thing. So a client server network is one on which all available network resources such as files, directories, applications, and sharing devices are centrally managed and hosted and then are accessed by the client. So that is our client server. Well, so the advantages and disadvantages, very secure model. So the client can access by using the authenticated client only access the server information. So better performance. So we are sharing the information and so we can have the better performance. So the centralized backup, again, every client can work their own works and the storage that will be centralized in the server. So it's a very reliable one. That is also the another advantage. So now let's move to some of the disadvantages of this client server network. Basically, it requires professional administrator. So the professionally trained person can handle this server communication to the clients, and more software intensive based, hardware intensive based, and expensive dedicated software to manage this server, server operating systems. So these are all some disadvantages. So with this, we'll finish our chapter 1, and in chapter 2, we will continue some other important topics. So time being, let's stop with this concepts. So the summary which we have having a look on this. So basic computer network, then we have seen some of the network hardware devices, some of the network software, then the client server model. So these are all the areas which we have studied in this video. Thank you very much. We'll see in the next chapter. Thank you. Thank you very much.